Hey there, how you doing? I'm just doing another L'Hopital um, limit here. So this is the limit as x approaches infinity of the natural log of x and over 5x. And so what we're going to want to do is we want to notice that both of these limits limit the numerator and the denominator. They both limit to infinity, right? So let's walk ourselves through this, right? So the natural log of infinity, where if I just place this infinity here, it just keeps getting bigger, right? And then if I take the natural log of that infinity, it just keeps approaching infinity, right? Then also the natural log, then this one also approaches infinity because it's just a 5, right? It doesn't look like a 5, but it is. It's a 5. And then an infinity there, okay? So notice that the numerator is infinity and the denominator is infinity. Now remember, on the AP exam, I want to say I'm going to use L'Hopital's rule, right? Now, in order to use L'Hopital's rule, what you're going to need is you're going to need to write down right here that the numerator does approach infinity and the denominator does approach infinity, and then you can use L'Hopital's rule. You have to establish that the conditions exist in order for you to use the rule, right? You can't just go straight into it. Apparently, what'll happen is you'll lose some points for that. Okay. Anyway, so go ahead and write all that out first, and then, according to L'Hopital's rule, you take the derivative of the numerator. So let's differentiate this numerator, natural log of the natural log of x. So the derivative of the natural log of x was just, or natural log of this. I'm going to differentiate the outer function. So that's this natural log here. And so that's 1 over the argument, which happens to be also another natural log, okay? So to kind of help your eyes focus in on this natural log here is that, okay? And then this natural log outside is the derivative of it is 1 over the argument, okay? Now I take the derivative of this green natural log and I write it here, and that's just 1 over x. And then the derivative of 5x is just 5. Okay, so that one's nice and easy. Now I limit these guys to infinity, right? Well, the natural 1 over infinity actually limits to 0, and 1 over infinity again limits to 0. So the numerator happens to be 0 times 0, and then the denominator happens to be 5, which the limit ends up being 0 on that, okay? So there you are. That's pretty good. Now be aware, I heard at one point that if you write something like this, infinity, oops, sorry, that's an 8, If you write infinity over infinity, that will actually be considered incorrect as well, right? So apparently what you have to do is you have to write each of these separately, like I've done over here. You can't just write equals infinity over infinity. I heard that you may lose points for that. So be careful on that one, okay?